Okay.
Good morning. Let's hope this can be the first of many shiurim where we speak about the Rebbe, Rabbi Nachman's koyach, Rabbi Nachman's ability to reach into our souls and bring out the best of us. Right? And I was told, I was told to speak about Chanukah. Okay? So let's first put Chanukah in perspective. Chanukah is a time when the Jews were in one of the worst, well, they were all worst exiles. But there were four major exiles. Bavel, who destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. Poras and Modai, Persia and Media, where Haman tried to wipe out the Jews completely. Yavon, when the Hellenists came up and did their best to destroy the Torah of Persia. And now is Edom. We're in Edom. Edom, by the way, is shared with Yishmael, Medrash, so that when I was a kid, the Catholic Church was very powerful. I remember as a kid, the power of the church was all over the world. They did nothing. What happened? Because the Golis is shared with Edom and Yishmael took over. The Arabs now run the world, right? Okay. Chanukah was a time when the Greeks were at the height with their philosophies. Socrates, what was the other guy with it? Aristotle, Epicurus, and others. They were the height of Greek philosophy, that the human body is supreme and the soul is nothing, whatever. No, it's not. That was Chochmas Yavon. The Gemara asks, am I allowed to learn Chochmas Yavonis? Am I allowed to learn Greek philosophy? The Gemara answers, it was Rabbi Yeshua's nephew who asked. So you can learn it in a day, in a time when it's not day or no night. Right? That's when you can study philosophy. Rabbi Nachman was very big on that. He speaks much about the evils of philosophy. We don't have to turn more and take a look at what's happened in all the universities in the world today. Just take a look at what all their deep thinking and all their great teachings and depth of wisdom and all that, what it has brought them to. Animals. Literally brought them to animals. And that's really what the world was all about. The Torah HaKadoshah, the Rebbe says in lesson 37, is Chochmas HaTorah and is Chochmas HaBemius, or animalistic knowledge, or Chochmas Chitzonius, outside knowledge. Outside knowledge is whatever they teach you in the world today. Now, some of it may be used to earn a living. Engineering, okay, architecture. There are things that do have value, right? But that's not called Chochmas Chitzonius. That's called earning a living. It's Mishnah in Kedushin. The Mishnah says you have to teach your child how to earn a living. So you can teach them something that they can earn a living. But what goes on with all the other Chochmas, wisdom, right? I mean, I shouldn't show my bias, but I always wonder what Black history is all about. It's 200 years, I mean, what's, and they have big studies about it, and I mean, who knows what, and who knows how many other different wasteful things. One guy told me is an approved course on campus. It's called leisure studies, how to spend your vacation. Right? This is where you spend $100,000 a year tuition to send your kid to college. So the kids this is what Chochmas Yovan, right? The Greek philosophies were made to invest, study, and digest this world and completely forget about the world to come. All right, now let's go to the Rebbe Nelson, Svar and Zoya. Chanukah is 8 days. Why 8 days? Because in the spheroids, there's 7 lower spheres, and then there's the 3 higher ones. Kesher, Chochmah, Bina. Kesher and Chochmah do not manifest. They manifest only in Bina. So from the bottom up, you have Malchus, Yesod, Hoi, Netzach, Tiferes, Gvura, Chesed. You have 7. And then you have the one above it, the 8th, is Bina. We have in the Moed Sur, B'nai Bina, Yemei Shmoina, Kovu Shiru Nolan, right? The people of wisdom established 8 days to make Chanukah. Okay, 8 days. Dafka, why? It's that the world is a cycle of 7 days, right? It's amazing that none of these bright, brilliant philosophers ever came up with an 8-day week or a 10-day week or a week without Mondays or whatever the case might be. They have all different types of things. 7 days from Bria So'ela, from the Torah. The Torah says 7 days, 7 days. Right? 7 days represents this world. All the koiches of Kedusha that we are aware of, Zeir Ampin, which is 6 spheres, and Malchus, 1 sphere, Shabbos, that's the week. That's the way the world, there are 7 continents, 7 seas, right? 7 planets. All these different 7. The number is 7 because that's what rules this world. When you get to the level of Bina, you get to a level above this world. When a person can merit to understand, Bina is understanding. Understanding is a grasp of none other than Hashem. That's what it's all about. That anything and everything that you have in this world, take it and learn to relate to Hashem with what's happening in this world. What you're doing is you're elevating this world to the next world. You're living beyond your means. You're living, you can live, in this case, and not financially, but in this case, you can live beyond your means. You can strive for something greater. Where is Hashem in all this? This is the essence of Chanukah. It's a yontif where we'll find throughout the Kut Halachos, you find whatnot, where you're going to take, the Rebbe starts lesson 2, the second Chelek, Yimei Chanukah and Yimei Hodah. Days of Chanukah are days of praise of Hashem, thanking Hashem. As it says in the Ala Nisim, the end of the Ala Nisim prayer, V'kovu shmoinas Yimei Chanukah Eile, L'hoidois u'lahalel l'shimcha hagodol. They established the 8 days of Chanukah to praise Hashem. That's what it's about, right? And you think about it. Chanukah, what's the mitzvah of Chanukah? What's the mitzvah of Chanukah? Light a candle, right? Add up all the time it takes you to light those 36 candles on Chanukah. How long does it take you? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? 8 days of Chanukah for 3 minutes of lighting the candles? Right? Is that what it's all about? Yeah, it is. But in a different sense, which we'll come to in a minute. But to recognize how much we have to thank Hashem for every single day of our life. Every single day. Right? I was born, right? They taught me how to use a spoon, and then a fork, and then a knife, right? They taught me all these different things. I grew up, right? What have I done? Right? Do I recognize Hashem in every part of my life? Am I married? I have children, right? Do I thank Hashem for the children? I mean, I know there are some people who would rather not, but Baruch Hashem, in Yiddish circles, you always want to thank Hashem for the children, right? And this is the Hemshech HaDorish. This is how the generations go, as we say every day in Rashi. Dor l'dor yishabach ma'asecha. Generation to generation, you thank Hashem. So the main thing of Chanukah is to recognize Hashem and to thank Hashem. Okay, so we'll learn now Hilchos Chanukah Halacha Vav from the Likutei Halachos. Nosson bases this on lesson 9 in the Likutei Moran. Tefillah is called Emunah. Tefillah is called faith. Logically speaking, or practically speaking, if you believe in Hashem, you'll daven to Him. If you don't believe, you won't daven. People don't pray, right? And they say there's no atheists in Foxhole, right? Because there you realize there's something going on here and I need help, right? You'll scream that out. But if you believe even something, you'll pray. If you pray, it's because you believe. So prayer and faith are very much intertwined. In Kabbalah, they're called Malchus, the authority, right? Why are they called the authority? Because they give you authority in your life. If you have faith in yourself, you're going to have authority over yourself to go ahead and try something new, to do something constructive, to accomplish something. If you have faith, you'll do it. Faith in yourself. But it's faith. It's called faith. Right? If you learn to pray, right? You pray because you believe that there's a power beyond me and I can access that power. I can access it. I'm going to ask a question. I'm not expecting an answer. But did anyone here ever have in their lifetime something that they wanted, they prayed for, and they got it? I did too. Oh, many times. Many times. It's impossible. 1974. Not many of you could remember that far back. But in 1974, Russia, Soviet Union was closed. You couldn't accomplish anything with them. Right? I wanted to go to Uman. I had been there before, but I wanted to go again. And it's closed. There was no visa for the city of Uman. There was no visa. And I prayed for over a year. I prayed again and again. And Baruch Hashem, not only did I get there, but the Soviets actually worked with me to give me the visa and the car and everything to be able to get to the city. Right? The Pasuk says, "B'ritzois Hashem darkei ish, gam oivav yashlim mitoy." When Hashem wants the path of a person, even his enemies come to help him out, which we hope will happen now with Azan and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, fact is, prayers can get answered. It's because you have the authority to pray. Where do you come? Lesson 30 in the Kutul Ram. Rabbi Nachman speaks about, it says, what kind of chutzpah do you have to pray to Hashem? Who are you? You're flesh and blood. Is your past pure? Have you never gone off the path once? We're not going to talk about sin. We're talking about just something that's true. Have you never done any? Who the heck are you to pray to Hashem? You want this. But you have that power. You were given that power. That's what Chanukah comes to teach us. Right? Rabbi Biad Be'atim. There was the whole Greek army, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran. There's how many? There's 1 billion Muslims in the world today. Right? How many are we? 15 million? Right? Against 1 billion Muslims? Well, 1%? 2%? Right? Right? They don't count. Why don't they count? Because they're not looking for Hashem. We count because we're looking for Hashem, who does run the world. We could pray and accomplish incredible things if we just put our minds to it. That's what happened with Yochanan Kohen and his 5 sons, the Maccabim. They rose up against the mighty Greek army. They were mighty. They were incredible. They used elephants in battle, not horses, not camels, elephants, right? And they lost. They lost. Hamas, missiles, everything, Iran, nuclear power, it's nothing. What counts is our tefillah. Okay, so Rabbi Nachman says that tefillah is a munah, and that means it's also miraculous. Tefillah can cause miracles to happen. Take a look now, right? Think of the destruction that Hamas did. Right, the present-day Greeks, let's call them the present-day Greeks. They're trying to destroy the Torah, trying to destroy Am Yisrael. Look at the death and destruction that they wrought. Israel has gone into them, fought against them. 66 soldiers were killed. You were going into the lion's den, and unfortunately 66 were killed. But the numbers don't match up with the enemy that they're facing. It doesn't match up. I remember the 6-Day War, right? The Egyptians, the Jordanians, and the Syrians were all up against us. 656 soldiers were killed against hundreds of thousands of Arabian soldiers. The numbers don't. It's because tefillah is miracle. Tefillah causes miracles to happen. That's the koyach of Chanukah. Hoidos from the Hallel to thank Hashem. Alright? What's our problem with tefillah? Well, there's something called our thoughts. Did you ever daven one shmona esrei from beginning to end without your mind wandering? Did you ever say Ashrei once without your mind wandering? Or Kriya Shema? Did it ever happen? Right? The mind wanders. Right? Why does the mind wander? Because the machshava is in bina, in chokhmah. It's above and beyond what we are living with. Therefore, the machshava is always running to the higher place. Since it's always running, it's always moving. If it's moving, it doesn't give us the ability, the chance to rest and concentrate on what we're doing. The Rebbe says, how can we overcome this? Try and say the words honestly. Right? Rufa'enu Hashem v'nei Rufe. Hashem, heal us. Are you really praying for Hashem to heal us? Are you saying it be'emes? Right? Shma kolenu. Listen to us, Hashem. Are you really saying it with such an effort that you really want Hashem to listen? Or it's by rote? How are we saying the tefillah? How are we expressing ourselves before Hashem? Right? The Rebbe says, say it as honestly as you could. Now, honesty is a very rare trait, right? Svarim bring that Yaakov Avinu epitomizes honesty. Yaakov Avinu tricked Esav into selling the birthright. Yaakov Avinu tricked his father Yitzchak to get the brachos. Yaakov Avinu tricked Lavan with the sheep in order to amass his fortune. Right? Yaakov is the epitome of the MS. How does that match up? Because truth, there is only one truth. Rabbi Nachman in lesson 51 says, silver cup. If you take it and want to say the truth, you can say it's a silver cup. If you want to tell a lie, it could be gold, bronze, plastic, paper, right? Lead, or you could say an innumerable amount of lies if you want. Truth is only one. The truth is, I have to be as honest as I can with myself. That's truth, right? There are things I say or do, well, the other guy feels this way, I'm gonna bend a little bit in his way. Now, for peaceful manners, you can do it. But otherwise, be honest with yourself. Honesty is the best policy, they say. Right? It is. Why? Because the Rebbe says in the lesson, first is one pasuk, Hashem Elokeichem Emes. Every day in Shema we say, God is the God of truth. There's another pasuk that says, Hashem Oiri V'yishi. Hashem is my light and my salvation. So if I go for Emes, I'm going for Hashem. If I am incorporating Hashem into my life, well, then I have salvation. Simple. Then I have light. Right? If it's dark out, I can't really see where I'm going. But if I have light, I can always see where I'm going. Right? I have to bring Hashem, I have to incorporate Hashem into my life. Okay, so now, the Rebbe says there are different levels of truth. Right? Remember the famous joke, guy claims before the judge. Judge says, you're right. The defendant says, his defense, you're right. The judge, how can they both be right? You're right too, right? It's an old joke. It's pretty simple, pretty down to earth. But the emphasis, as Nosson says, say Shema Yisrael. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. What does Rashi say? Rashi explains, Hashem Shehu Elokeinu, God, who is our God now, Hashem Echad, there will be a day when Hashem is the one God over the entire world. Right? Amazing. Will everybody see Hashem in the same light? No. Everyone has their perspective of Hashem. Right? So there are many truths lesson 66 in the Kuta Moran, the Rebbe speaks about it. There's emes. There's a lot of emes. All the tzaddikim are emes. They're all truth. But there is one nekuda of emes, one central point of emes that's within all the other truths. There's one central point. In other words, they're all right. They all look at Hashem in a certain way. They all look at Hashem as the God of truth. But there's one emes la'amitli, the truth, the central point of truth. That's what we have to strive for. Very few ever get to that level of the central point of the truth. But every person has a modicum of truth.
How do you answer the question? When you ask,
I can't. I have.
how do we answer Yaakov Avinu?
How do we?
We asked before Yaakov Avinu. He with the bechor, with the brochers.
The truth was he was the bechor. Rashi says it there. 2 drops go into a vial, right? The last in comes out first. That was Esav. Yaakov was the bechor. That's one. Right? Well, Yitzchak, the brachos would do to Yaakov. They would do to him. Gam Baruch Yiyeh. Yitzchak said, don't say that he took it away from me as a trick. Gam Baruch, he should be blessed. The taka his, right? With Lavan. It was Lavan, it was Yaakov's. Take a look. Yaakov worked for him 6 years. How many months in 6 years? 6. Basic math in school. 12 times 6, 72, right? Yaakov said to Lavan, you changed my wages 100 times, right? 72 months, but he changed his wages, that means maybe 3 weeks, maybe every 2.5, 3 weeks he was changing the wages. Who's the thief here? You made an agreement at the beginning, stick to your agreement. Every 2-3 weeks you're changing the end of the game, right? Who's the thief? Who was the liar? Well, not Yaakov. Yaakov was emes all the way through, right? But there's different levels of truth. You have to know what the truth is. The truth is it's Hamas, the normal human beings, right? Pasuk says, "Who yeh pera odom," not odom pera. Like an eitz gadol, a big tree, or eitz yofer, a nice tree, right? In Hebrew, the adjective comes after the noun. Hu yeh pera odom. He will be a wild beast, right? What kind of wild beast? In the form of a human. That's what Yishmael is. Take a look the way they treat each other. Go look, Libya didn't behead thousands of people. Behead? Right? Sudan, they didn't kill one after the other. Iran, Syria, over 500,000 Syrians were killed by, right? Lebanon, what goes on there, right? The Houthis from Yemen, look at them. Look at the way they treat each other, right? They're wild beasts in the human form. They're nothing more than that, right? The 12 stories, the Rebbe speaks in Master of Prayer. He speaks about 10 different groups. One group wants honor, one wants money, one wants prayer, one wants wisdom, one wants entertainment, whatever. There's one that wants murder, right? One group that seeks murder. Why? Because everything in the end decays anyway. So why not rush up to... That's the tachlis of people, right? What are the Arabs today, if not that group of murder? What are they? All they do is, all they know how to do is murder. Their own people in Gaza they kill, right? Their own people. There's no such trace of the human, it's just a human form. It's not. So now, let's take what Reb Breslov says here. Zeb Bechinas, this whole thing of prayer, of emunah, of miracles, right? According to the emes that I'm doing, right? V'zeh b'chinas ner Chanukah. This is what Chanukah is all about. Ki Chanukah huzman tefillah v'hidah la'Hashem Yisborach. Chanukah is a time of prayer to Hashem. As we say, Kovu Shmonish beChanukah el lahodus li'ala. Because that's when many miracles happened. And those miracles happen every year. Right? The Sfarim brings, the Arizal brings, that when Pesach comes, it's Yitzias Mitzrayim. Right? The Jews were steeped in the 49th level of impurity. Comes every Pesach, our souls are elevated out of the impurities. Every Pesach. It takes till Mashiach comes, it's a process. Shavuos, we receive the Torah anew every single year. Sukkot, we're surrounded by the Anoni Kohen, right? Chanukah, whatever happened then happens now. Same thing with Purim. But whatever happened then, the miracles, they happen now too, right? If not, we would have been wiped off the map a long time ago. A long time ago we would, because the Gemara talks about it. In Rekiva's time, there was somebody, Katia Masholim. He was a Roman general. And the Roman emperor said then, to Gemara of Zerah, we want to wipe out all the Jews. Enough of them. Get rid of them. Haman did it, 400 years earlier, right? Now they did. This Katia Basholom stood up to the emperor and says, you won't be able to do it. Right? Hashem spread the Jews all around the world. And because they're spread all around the world, you'll never be able to get all of them and kill them. Right? So the emperor said, okay, you said a good thing, I understand, but because you said something against the emperor, you're dead. And they killed him. Right? He became a Ger Tzedek. He circumcised himself on the way to his death. The point is that my shoe fell off. Right. How do you like that? How do you like that? I can't even fit into my own shoes, let alone people created it. Anyway. The miracles that happen Chanukah, right? There's a light. We light a candle on Chanukah. What is that light? Right? The Sfarim bring that you take a word, Bereshis Bara Elokim, right? The beginning of Chumash, right? The 25th word of the Torah, representing Chanukah, 25th of Kislev, is the word Tov. Vayara the Kim Or is the 25th word. Right? Light. The light of Chanukah is brought in Sfarim. Is a light from the 6 days of creation. A light that shines upon the entire world. Alright? We can see from one end of the world to the other. Alright? Today we can't. We're limited by our materialism. But the fact remains that the light of Chanukah is rooted in the light of the 6 days of creation. A light that was a person and enabled him to see all around the world. It's a light that transcends any light of the sun. Right? The sun comes up, we have light. But this light transcends that light. It's a greater light. Every time we light the candle of Chanukah, we are invoking the light of Sheshish Beishis, of the 6 days of creation. We are bringing forth that light to. What is that light? Right? Hashem Ori V'Yishi. Hashem is my light. Right? Chanukah. Right? Nosson brings the Kavonis of Chanukah from the Arizal. Kiloi Behem Dalit. You'll take a look at it. Right? It's on Torah base. But he says that Emes, right? 21 times 21 is how much? 441, right? Emes. Emes is 441. Ekia, the name of Hashem, Aleph K Yud K, is 21. 21 times 21 is 441. It's Emes. Ekia means I will be. I will be. I will come into creation. I will come into life. I will come into being. Right? That's what Ekia is. That is the light that shines on Chanukah. That is the light that we could tap into on Chanukah. We light a candle. Okay. The Jews beat the Greeks 2,500 years ago. Right? So I light a candle and I walk away and I eat a sufganiyah or maybe a potato latke with applesauce. Who knows? Right? No, that's not what Chanukah is all about. Chanukah is to draw the light, draw the light of Hashem, Ekia. I will become a mensch. I will do the right thing from now on in my life. That's what the light of Chanukah is all about. How is it? Because it's emes. It's emes because I'm doing it, because I'm trying to do the emes. I am trying to do the emes. That's all. I'm trying. I can't get to that emes lamitoy, but Shabbeinu can get there. Shaya Hanavi, right? Shimon Ben Yochai, right? All the great tzaddikim get to that level. I can't. I'm not. I messed up my life. I did things wrong. I acknowledge that. But by acknowledging it, I'm acknowledging that there is a God, and He exists, and I'm still here. That means I could relate to Him. That means Chanukah is empowering me to be able to turn to Hashem and recognize the power, the energy that lay within me, that I can go forward in life and accomplish tremendous things. That's what Chanukah is all about. All right? Okay, now, what time is it? We have time?
11:20. It's 11:20.
Go further a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So that, let's take it further. Rabbi Nachman brings in that lesson, he speaks about emes. Emes is the light, right? Nosson brings from Tikkun Zohar, he says that Tevas Noah, Noah's ark, is allusion to Chanukah. Why? Because the ark, the rain, started in 17 Cheshvan, but it ended on 27 Kislev, which is during Chanukah. The ark protected Noah. What is Tevas Noah? Or Noah is called Chaim, same letters backwards, right? Grace, favor in the eyes of Hashem. When does that happen? When I'm honest with myself. If I'm honest with myself, my words find favor. So I have then Tevas Noah, I have the word, not the ark, but the word of Noah, the word of Chaim, the word of truth, to guide me, right? What did the ark do? Can my words do? They can protect me, right? Me, animals, whatever is necessary for life, could all be protected by that honesty, right? That's the power of Chanukah, right? Protection. Well, what good does it do if there are evil people in the world? What good does it do, right? The Rebbe says, if a person is completely honest, well, then he has light Hashem. What happens if he sins, he does something wrong? Then he's concealed from the light. He's in darkness, right? And how many of us are in darkness, right? Megala or many choshech, Hashem reveals light from the darkness. The darkness is, as we know, it is an absence of light, right? There's a darkness that was created in the creation, that's darkness. That happened to the Egyptians, right? But otherwise, we look at darkness as an absence of light. So that if I sinned, I did something wrong, I fell into darkness. How do I get out of this darkness? How can I find my way? It's dark, completely dark, right? For people who get stuck in the woods in the middle of the night, they can go around in circles for hours and end up in the same place, right? Darkness. How do I get out of it? I need a drop of light. I need a little drop of light to light me. One candle. One candle. The halacha is, if you light one candle each night, you're also fulfilling the mitzvah of Chanukah. Right? It's a greater mitzvah to increase the light, because as you go on in life, you should increase your light, increase your exposure to light, increase your learning of Torah or Ner mitzvah. A mitzvah is a candle, and Torah is or. Torah is light. You should be, but if you can't, if you're stuck in a certain, even one candle is good. Take a room completely dark, light up one candle, put it in the corner of the room. You'll be able to see the shadows of the entire room. One candle, a drop of light could push away. So that if I'm where I am, in the complete darkness, I feel surrounded by all my nature, by my feelings, my desires, my base desires. I'm there, I'm in darkness. But Hashem, I know you're there. I believe in you. Tefillah, I pray to you. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Right? If I do that, I have just drawn light into where I am. If I've drawn light to where I am at this moment, right, I can see around me. Not only that, by the way, and this is one of the most powerful statements that we have to understand. If I draw light, there are others also in darkness with me. There are many others in darkness, right? But if I draw a drop of light, once the light is there, it illumines the others. You know how powerful we are? You realize that if I turn to the light, I see Hashem, I recognize that there is Hashem, even if I don't really connect. But I know, I believe. Belief is something that I don't know. If I know it, it's not belief, right? Belief is something I don't, but I believe in Hashem. I bring light to myself. If I brought light to myself, I can bring light to everybody else. You can light up the entire world with that light of Chanukah. You can light up the entire world with the light of emes, of truth. It's amazing how powerful we are if we but take notice. Okay? It's enough to get us started on Chanukah.
I have one question. I came in late, but the Rebbe was saying that you were asking, do you ever, can you focus during Ashley or Shema without having Hesed Das? So you explained that our focus, our brain is in Chochmah and Bina, and it's higher than what I understand, like the Oid Masiyah, where we are. So I just want to know, so if I connect to emes and try to say it, the emes, how will that intervene? How will that?
It's the light of Hashem. You're aware of Hashem at that moment.
So it's a lot higher than Bina and
Hashem or Revi'ishni. Hashem is my light and my salvation. So it comes out that I have just lit that, what they call the imaginary light bulb in my mind. Right? You ever see that? Right? A great idea. That's Hashem. right? Every time I do something that I think was good, I say, thank you, Hashem, for that advice. Thank you for letting me think of that. Because where does it come to me to think of something good? Right? I'm seeing this in the darkness. But it's a good idea to do this, right? It was a good idea to take my sweater this morning. Thank you, Hashem, for letting me have a sweater, for letting me wear the sweater. It's chilly, right? Thank you, Hashem. Thank Hashem on every step of your life, and you'll find incredible, wonderful, beautiful, amazing thoughts coming to you that you would never have thought of otherwise. You'll see it happen. You will see it happen. Right? Incorporate Hashem into your life, and you got it. Okay? Wonderful. Good evening, and I hope you enjoyed the shir. And if you like to share, please pass it on to others and let them all get interested in Breslov and Rabbi Nachman's teachings. We look forward to hearing from a lot more of you. All the best.